had a question put to me by Miss Dee Dee Halleck. She asked me what Donald Trump got in exchange for this garden. And here's what we know at this point. He got a height variance, which gave him 24 extra flights, extra stories, in exchange for this garden. Amen? 24. Now that is all he owns at this time. He had to sell the rest of the tower to Saudi princes and Russian hackers and God knows what. Amen? Amen. Elton John, does he still own his apartment here? I'm not sure. Various and sundry. But he's holding on to his 24 ill-begotten flights. Amen. And those 24 stories are now valued in the market. How much, Sam?
Oh my, millions and millions.
I think it's $580 million. Amen. Boom. I just want you to sit with that for a moment. Sit and meditate on that for a moment, people. Because this is your money.
Yes, my money. My money.
Our money.
Our money. We welcome you here today. Some of you are, in fact, chewing on your ancestral food. I think some of you have. Some of you are. I'm from the Midwest and I'm eating corn on the cob. Kind of a default position, very bland food. Amen. We are honoring our nativity. We're thinking of where we came from. Something about this 5-story mall here makes you forget your past. Amen? Something about shopping too much makes you think that the past is only nostalgic. Anybody know what I'm talking about here?
Yes. Yes.
Because we want to stop our shopping.
That's right.
Yeah.
Please, please, stop shopping for weapons.
Yes.
Stop shopping for glyphosate toxins.
Yes.
Stop shopping for neonicotinoids killing the honeybees.
That's right.
And stop shopping Disney products to your children, making them stupid.
Yes.
Stop selling the war in Iraq
That's right.
and whatever the next war is, the war in North Korea. We're going to stop our consumption. Amen. By remembering where we came from. Because somewhere in our past, we have ancestors who were not shopping so much. Amen? We're going to sing now for you. The Stop Shopping Choir is gathering here. Can I have the Stop Shoppers up here? Woo! We're going to sing a song we'd like to dedicate to all the people who have been mistreated at the gates, at the customs, by the immigration correction enforcement officials, in the airports, at the borders. The song is love at the gates. Amen? Here we go. Sing it out loud now. Sing it loud.
Una catástrofe.
Y en algún lugar capital matando. Algunas personas sueñan distintos sueños. Y aquellos junto a los que nacieron.
Belt it out there.
Y en algún lugar.
All right.
Tantas horas para partir como para vivir. Y la causa de la partida es la vida.
Hay que vivir.
Hay que vivir.
Intentamos partir y es como hay que vivir.
Hay que vivir. Intentamos partir como some place too small, some place there's a war on, some place is a catastrophe, and some place capital K, killing it. Some people dream dreams different from the dreams of people they were born beside. And some dreams can come true inside some families. As many reasons for leaving as for living. And the cause for leaving is living. We've got to live. We've got to live. But we try to leave and it's like a really long way. It's a really long, really long way, really long line. Everything you got in a really long, long time. Shh, be silent. Shh, shh, don't even think. Shh, 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 no mouth. Shh, no sound. Shh, no voice. No, you don't even speak right. As many reasons for leaving as for living. And the cause for leaving is living. We got to live. We got to live. But we try to leave and it's like, where were you born? How much money you got? What's your final destination? And have you ever been convicted of a crime? Fear for your life. Do you have any skills? Are you a homo communist? Is there anyone you can call for help? As many reasons for leaving as for living. And the cause for leaving is living. We got to live. We got to live. But we try to leave and it's like, hey, did you shout from the crowd in the jail? How we map out our fantastic 17 away across the constellation. We're on the move. Our bodies of the earth, watching out borders, burying walls. We're on the move. Watching out borders, burying walls. We're on the move. Love at the gate. That's the sound of justice. Hallelujah. Love at the gate. That's the sound of justice. Justice. Love at the gate. I heard. That's the sound of justice. Justice. Love at the gate. I heard. That's the sound of justice. Justice. Love at the gate. I heard. That's the sound of justice. Justice. Love at the gate. I heard. That's the sound of justice. Love at the gate. I heard. That's the sound of justice. Justice. Love at the gate. I heard. That's the sound of. That's the sound of. That's the sound of justice.
Here's Miss Justice Jester right here. Amen.
Okay, so I got a few things on my sleeve. I got sleeves on. Okay, hi everybody. You might know me already as Miss Dragonfly, but she ain't here. And you might know me as Robin Laverne Wilson, but she ain't here either. I am Miss Justice Jester.
Jester, amen.
Because whenever there is a Miss Justice Jester tries to be there. All right, so first of all, about a week or so ago, someone came up to me to talk about the Otto Manelli case. Raise your hand if you know about the Otto Manelli case. One person, yeah, all right. Does anybody know what these are?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you. Somehow people think it's funny to go around and shove nooses in people's faces now. It's a joke, right? Shoving nooses in people's faces. Now I'm a jester. That means I'm supposed to make you laugh. I really don't have any jokes about nooses. Except no noose is good news. You know, I wouldn't go around chasing my Muslim, Jewish, and vegan friends with a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich and call that crap a joke. So what makes you think that's something that is viscerally charged into my ancestral mitochondrial DNA is gonna be funny? So let's have a little ritual here. Let's call it the ritual of reminder remembrance of what the hell the news actually stands for. Oh, look! It's a favorite buzzword for our government. Terrorism. Nooses are terrorism. Since we're throwing nooses around, they represent the Ku Klux Klan. They represent lynching. You don't know what that is? Look it up. It's anti-blackness. It's white supremacy. It's state-sanctioned violence and hatred and evil and everything. Do you think that's funny?
No.
I'm going to tell you who else doesn't think it's funny. The many veterans every single day who also take their lives, which I would consider an extension of state-sanctioned violence. Tell me how that's funny. The nooses are out in the open now. I got another noose for you. You've probably seen this one before. It's pretty common. It's pretty fashionable. It's probably pretty profitable. Oh, look how fashionable this noose is. Now, as a jester, I usually also sing you a song, but again, I couldn't think of anything really funny that had to do with nooses. So how about this one? Racist days are here again. They're bringing back the noose again. And hatred's on the loose again. Racist days are here again. And the other multitude of athletes from pro to Pop Warner who are tired of this crap. The anthem itself, like Confederate statues, are an extension of the racist and fascist culture embedded into the DNA of this country. So to take the knee is the counter-narrative against the myth. Let's take this also as a moment to think critically and irreverently about our anthem. Let's turn it into a mad liberty. I can't use the word mad lib because I might get sued, because that's how capitalism works. So we're gonna make a mad liberty. I'll start with a few. During the writing, I'll come and poke you and ask you for some strange prompt. And at the end, Billy, we can sing it together, right? How about that? Who's in the mood for a mad liberty anthem? Woo! Okay, the first prompt. I need a source of light.
Sun.
The sun. Any other prompts?
Lightning bug.
Lightning bug. One more.
Revelation.
Okay. Who goes for fire?
Fire.
Lightning bug. Sun. Revelation. What did we go with? Lightning? Fire. Lightning bug. Okay. Something that moves through the air, sky, or space.
Drones.
Crows. Drones, crows, and what was that? I said birds.
Birds.
Which one?
Crows.
Crows? Crows. We got crows flying through. All right, one more before we get to our right. What? I need an oppressive object that must be destroyed. We could use drums for that, but capitalism. Anything else? Prisons. What else needs to be destroyed?
The police.
Corporations. Monsanto. So, how many votes for prisons?
Yeah. Prisons.
How many votes for capitalism?
Yeah.
I think.
Same thing.
Okay, yeah, it's the same thing. All right. And last thing, one word to describe the status quo. Finished.
Wow.
Finished. All right. Finished. All right. So in order for us to finish this, I will probably come and poke you as you're doing your writing, and at the end we'll sing our Mad Liberty. For now, thank you. Amen and amen.
We have in our midst Mr. Bob Holman. He has a long resume. You can stretch across this fake garden, but I'd like to remind us of a couple things, and one is Bob's involved in a project that is trying to revive native languages around the world. Amen? All right, Bob.
This is a poem. Well, first I want to thank you for the privilege of being here with you all today. But it's not a privilege to be in this space today. It's our right to be in this space today. You know, I can't say that it was designed much for the comfort of people, but by God, it is here, and so are we. And it's Reverend Billy that has been able to say, come over and have lunch. So I'm happy to do that. And here's some freedom for you all. I want you to have freedom to put lima beans and black-eyed peas together. Yeah. I want you to have freedom to take off B.B. King's watch. Now, if you recall, whenever B.B. King was going to do a concert, he'd sit down and start to play Lucille, but if you looked at his watch, you could be sure that there'd be 45 minutes to the set. But if he didn't look at his watch, he'd play until he wanted to stop. Oh, that's what I want. Freedom to take off B.B. King's watch.
I know that's right.
Freedom to shout, let's hit it on every other beat. Freedom to look at everybody whenever you want with a nod and a tie in your shoes. Freedom to not shut up, ever. Freedom to crash your points. Freedom to speech-affry your poetic, political patralalas. Freedom of lemonade. Freedom to remember just what you're doing in Montana. Freedom to adjust the height of the floor. Freedom to eat an all poetry diet. Freedom to not write the poem. Write the other poem. Freedom of the F-bomb when appropriate. And when it's not appropriate, well, that's up to you. Freedom for a march to be omnidirectional, and you might not even be able to move. Freedom to turn off reality, and it ain't on TV either, buddy. Freedom of rulers to measure backwards. Freedom to land a helicopter in the yard at Angola prison and just see what happens. Freedom to knit some pink pussy ears on Trump Tower with a mighty roar. Could I have a mighty roar? Yeah! I like that. Freedom for the Freedom Riders to finally get off the damn bus. Freedom to shout stop at the top of your lungs in the stop market. Freedom to take a cell phone to court. freedom to get back on the horse, knowing you are also the horse. Freedom of omnis animus unum. We are all one animal.
Yes.
Right.
Freedom of thoughtless behavior to reanimate itself as a suspension bridge leading to a new consciousness that continues to reinvent itself until everyone crosses over. And no tolls either.
Yeah.
Freedom.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm Savitri. Thank you all for coming. As many of you know, we've been coming here for the last few months several times a week and engaging in a radical ritual, writing, resurfacing our imagination, starting over. So we'd like to do that now for about 11 minutes. I have some extra notebooks and pens. The idea here is you just write and write and write and write, and then we stop writing. So you can write about whatever you want or don't want. That sometimes works better. Hi, Ray. So pens and notebooks. And I'll say go, and then I'll give you a 2-minute call, and then I'll say end, okay? Everyone ready?
Yes.
And I know it's hard not to socialize, but it's really good to do this together and really commit to the silence of the ritual and go for it, you know? See what happens to you. Okay? Ready? Go! then I think we can call it a wrap. Real quick. Something bright in the distance.
Hope.
What was that?
Hope.
Hope? We got hope?
Billie Holiday.
Okay, Billie Holiday, one more? Okay, we'll go with hope. And also, something really bright and shiny. Glitter. Nice. Last one, something sacred, extremely important, heirloom given to you by the ancestors.
Dirt.
Life.
Stories. Water, life, stories. Who says water?
Water. Water is
Who
life.
says life?
Life is
Who
water.
has stories?
Water is life.
Okay. Wow. I think we might have to go with stories. Okay. So, I'm going to attempt to sing this. You got it. The Hope Glittered Stories is our new anthem. Yes. Oh, say can you touch by the morning when I wake's early light what so proudly we hailed at the lightning bolt's last gleaming.
Alright.
Whose broad brocade and bright hope through the perilous fight o'er the luxury items we watched were so lovingly streaming, and the crow's turquoise glare, the prison's exhilarating in the air,
Alright.
gave empirical evidence through the night that our dignity was still there.
Yeah.
Oh, say does that hope glittered stories yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the finished? This your new song, y'all. This our new song. Now we will work on updating verse 3 with more racist, violent lyrics. Hey, woman.
Hey, woman. Thank you, Miss Justice Jester.
Yes. That's Miss, baby.
Miss to me.
Miss everybody.
Some of the people that have been writing here over the last 3 months, a couple, 3 times a week with us, they've shared with us that they find themselves going back and back to the earliest things about their lives that they can remember. Anybody do that? Anybody go back here? Amen. Somebody here. Hallelujah, David. It reminds me of something that Donald Trump is giving us. He's giving us the opportunity to understand deep down in our bones how radical we must be. Lots of what passes for politics right now, I'm not just saying the Democratic Party, lots of the stuff that we call progressive, amen? Just since last November, since before last November, seems so kind of married to the Republicans, in opposition but dancing with them, amen? Yeah. Anybody know what I'm talking about here?
Yep.
Oppositional politics is reflecting the evil. It gets angry and it rants. Chuck Schumer's not making it. But we have not really been radical for a long time in this society. Not since consumerism took over as our key fundamentalist church. It's been hard for us to really start over. to look at culture, to look at our economy, and really begin again. Once in a while, some people step out there and they take a risk for all of us. Consumerism made us forget that a successful social movement always have enough of us risking life and limb.
That's right.
Don't do that anymore. We prefer those electronic petitions and so forth. But I remember Occupy Wall Street. I remember Black Lives Matter. I remember Standing Rock. We do have people standing up. Amen. I remember the weekend of the Women's March. That was a revolution. If we could have stayed until after 9/11, until after 9 a.m. Monday morning. We went back to work. Mistake. If we had stayed in Washington, D.C., 1 million people stopping the place till the following Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's a revolution. We did not do that. Next time, okay? Next time.
That's right.
The reason this upchucking of this language, this automatic writing here in the face of the evil tower, it rings intuitively, feels like the right thing to do, is because that is how radical we must be. We need to start our culture over. And I think of Wovoka's ghost dance. When a circle dance was invented, that where you could talk to your dead ancestors and get good advice. I'm thinking of the Dada movement, Zurich, Cabaret Voltaire, when Emma Jennings and Hugo Ball and Kurt Schwitters and these people were inventing. They had World War I raging on all sides. It's like the situation we're in right now. Just violence everywhere and people making a lot of money on violence. And they started language over with grunts and sighs and whistles and farts, and they notated it down. They were trying to start a new language. That's radical. Amen? Amen. And that's how radical we have to be. And once in a while here in this garden, we start getting a whiff of that. We start seeing a crack in the darkness. We start, it's not just something that you think of. It's something that you feel physically. The poet Robert Creeley, Bob, he said, the plan is the body. It's a physical commitment. And sometimes we get there here. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes we just see it. Let's go on that journey together. Let's be radical Americans again. Amen? What's next? Let's sing another song. Sing another song and say goodbye. We're going to sing, the Stop Shopping Choir is going to sing one more song for us. Hey, Shatia Struthers from Fury. Families United for Racial and Economic Equality. Shatia, thank you for coming here today. Struggle against gentrification. Amen. We know what we're doing? Yep. Okay.
Talking all at once, grabbing hands and shouting, get home safe. Tuesday school's out early, walking through the park, throwing shade and laughing, get home safe. Wednesday after practice, walking to the train, streets alive and party, get home safe. Working late on Thursday, trying to stay awake. Parking lot is empty, get home safe. Man down, brother down, man down, brother down. Friday's family dinner, don't be late, and keep your mama waiting. Get home safe. Saturday's the wedding. Girls dress up, watching out the window.
Eric Garner,
Eric Garner,
Sean Bell,
Sean Bell,
Chantel Davis,
Chantel Davis,
Nicholas Hayward,
Nicholas Hayward,
Alberta Spruill,
Alberta Spruill,
Ayanna Stanley Jones,
Ayanna Stanley Jones,
Oscar Grant,
Oscar Grant,
Tamir Rice,
Shamir Rice,
Trayvon Martin,
Trayvon Martin, Emmett Till. Congregation, please rise. Please face Trump Tower. Now everybody, get down on one knee.
Say, does that old glitter stories yet wait for the land of the free and the home of the finished?
Amen. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for being with us today. Get home safe.
Pick up after yourselves.
And let's pick up after ourselves. I want to thank Sam Cohen, our ever vigilant lawyer. Thank our director, Savitri D. Thank our music director, Nehemiah Lundgren.
Yes! I have a few copies of Mad Liberty. Yeah, I know you want one.
Thank you, everybody. Hallelujah.
Yes.
Leave their walkway open. Just move back. Let it pass. Back. Leave it pass for folks. Thanks.
Yeah, I got it. Just walk around with them.